I've already explained to you what the deprivation triad is. I want you to visualize that the deprivation triad is the pulsating intelligence. It's alive, it's awake, it's conscious of itself, it's aware. It likes to scheme, it likes to grow, it likes to expand. Just like light likes to grow and expand and travel, the deprivation triad also likes to see its own growth. And for it, it uses everything that it can. Some things are very simple and some things are extremely difficult. When we think of darkness, when we think of deprivation triad, many of us begin to think about evil. Now, evil is defined by anything that is violent, that's assaulting, that's hateful. And we feel evil is not me. I'm not evil. And we forget about the simple ways through which the deprivation triad penetrates us. It doesn't have to hit us with something as evil as murdering and assaulting and raping, or violence and war and hatred. Those are extremes, those are visible extremes. We can see them, we can feel them, and we can reject them outright. But the deprivation triad isn't that simple. It has its roots in us, and these roots are placed like some implants, behavioral implants, which when we use, we automatically help the deprivation triad to grow, expand, succeed. We become the instruments of the deprivation triad and its growth. So the class that I'm going to unravel today is for you to recognize how the deprivation triad is using you. One of the easiest, simplest things, deceptive things that the deprivation triad does to a person or to humanity at large is that it creates a toxic humanity. A toxic humanity is a bitter humanity. A humanity filled with resentment, a humanity filled with betrayal, a humanity filled with regrets, a suppressed humanity. Whenever there is a wound and you suppress it, you cover it up, it's going to fester further. The more it festers, the more toxic it becomes. And toxicity only leads to toxicity. Just like anything in the universe, if toxicity is given space, it grows. So toxic humanity, we can see how it's growing. How is it relevant to you? How is it relevant to women? I'm basing this class largely for women. This class is for women. But it isn't any less important for men. Because, believe it or not, they like it or not, men revolve around women. Mothers, sisters, friends, lovers, wives, daughters. Women create and weave a world around men. And men are most vulnerable with women. There is a need in men to understand women. So if you are a man and you're attending this class, you will find yourself educated, deeply educated. And when you get educated, you can deal with women in the right way. And there will be deep healing. So toxic humanity creates toxic femininity and toxic masculinity. Now, we have been hearing about this toxic masculinity a lot lately. But what about toxic femininity? What about the deceptive toxic femininity? Toxic femininity comes to you in simple terms. It comes to you in simple ways. It becomes a part of your behavior. And for your convenience, I have defined it into a few categories. Just like always, as I like to make everything clear, I've defined it into a few categories. And what I would like you to do to take full advantage of this class, to heal through this class, is to recognize your category. What toxic femininity category are you operating from? Which one is dominant in your system? And it may not be that you are just sticking to one category. It could be, I hope not, it could be that you are a big cocktail of toxic femininity. But at large, generally speaking, women have a dominant category of toxic femininity, and when they do have that, and you recognize that, you heal that, you work on that. We will be doing some healing work in this class already. There is a release from the deprivation triad that you and your being hasn't gone through before. It's a new release. It's a new happening to you. It will take some time to anchor in you. But once it does, the freedom that you will experience is like never before.
यूजली औरतें सोशल प्रेशर में आकर अपने लाइफ के डिसीजंस में बहुत ही मैनिपुलेटिव हो जाती हैं। मैंने भी अपने सर्वाइवल के लिए बहुत सारे कॉम्प्रोमाइज डिसीजंस लिए। ये मेरी तपस्या ही रही होगी कि इस जन्म में मैंने इस मैनिपुलेशन का पूरा गेम समझा और मुझे इससे जागने का भी मौका मिला। मैं चाहती हूँ कि दुनिया की हर औरत इस इनर फ्रीडम को एक्सपीरियंस करे और इसकी वजह से ज़िंदगी में जो सुकून मिलता है उसे भी जिए।
We need absolute clarity. Absolute clarity is different from psychological clarity. It's the same difference that you will find between the sun and a light bulb in a room. You were born with a direct connection to a timeless, unconditional clarity within you. When you're connected to it fully, you don't need any babysitters and agents for your consciousness. You're absolutely clear in life. Becoming the nuclear woman is to learn how to live a naturally ecstatic life. The kind of life that is built on self-trust. It's built on truth and it's built on courage. It gives you the ability to see through the fog. It gives you the power to outdo redundant paradigms and look at your own ecstatic life.